Hello, Beans. Today, I just, for the sake of just doing this video right now, because I feel like deep within me, I just wanted to do this right now. So I'm I'm just doing this. So yeah, we need to talk, like have a conversation. So like I really love being in my otter, um, to a point where I disassociate like my human body with this, because I've basically spent my entire life in front of LED screens and all of that. I'm not sad or like upset, but I am depressed and fatigued a lot at the moment. Like the depression isn't really causing like sadness. It's just causing like nostalgia to come back, and that is not so nice. But it's getting better. So like my whole life balance is getting better. I'm watching my diet way more. I'm trying to figure out what is hurting nature and what can I do to not hurt it as much, or like to just don't use much from nature, like don't like take so much. And so I started to just like eat like more vegan stuff, because I really like how the thought of being vegan is. So I just started to just become vegan myself most of the time. It's been a journey for me, because I used to eat like meat and stuff, because I was fed this stuff when I was a child, and I didn't have a clue what I was eating because I was a child. And I still do sometimes crave um, meat, real meat, but I don't want it, like I don't want it anymore, because I see like there's a lot of pain there as well, and I don't want to think about like how many like animals are getting like hurt and all of that stuff. But there's also a huge society where people just don't care. There's people, they don't care, and they just want to slaughter a cow and then just eat it, and then they just have it there, and then you're supposed to eat it as well. I'm like, no. Gladly, we're humans, so above our own instincts, we also have a brain that we can use to function more smartly or more properly. We are now creating meat that is like almost like real meat, quite literally. When I was eating those dino nuggies, I still got a little bit scammed though, because when I bought them, they they had like these big plastic bags, and you didn't even need that big of a plastic bag for that. There could have been like a much shorter one, or even instead of plastic, just put in there and just made sure there's like the right ingredients so it doesn't like mold and stuff. Um, yeah, or they could have put them in like in a paper packaging. It doesn't really matter. But I was eating those dino nuggies, and they were literally eating like real dino nuggies. But I knew they were vegan. And that is the crazy part. Like, our society is moving so rapidly fast at the moment, which is a good thing, but also a bad thing. But I feel like it's a really good thing, because then all of the pain that like the animals like have to endure because of us humans just being so selfish instead of being more generous, and we are actually doing a lot of groundwork there. Like, we're doing lots of positive changes, lots of positivity is just getting thrown around. I feel like at least like the people I surround myself with are like way more positive minded than the people I used to surround myself with 5 years ago, which were a lot more toxic as well, and not that kind of people. But I do feel there's like a huge shift happening right now where my dreams and my desires are actually going to become true. And I feel like that shift is going to be permanent. Like not just like so it's also very dangerous because like when you're doing like such a big shift like that, then you have to be very mindful about what is it exactly that you want, so to stay locked in like that, so locked in. And so you have to be so careful about how you want to shape your world, like shape your bubble in a sense. Without, it's also important to reach outside of the bubble, which I do personally, because I feel like surrounding yourself with new people and new beings is always a new way to look at things, because you get to see all sort of new people and beings and furry beings and all of that. And I feel like there's such a huge positive shift coming into my life, and I feel it's like just for me existing, it's just happening. And I want to give some of that positivity back. And I do like like a stripper otter, and I kind of am in this game. But I know my boundaries because I set healthy boundaries, and I'm very open. And maybe I'm a little bit too open for some people's taste, and some people don't like me, which I can totally get. That's fair. I don't, but know that I don't hate you. I try to avoid like some of my friends sometimes when I remove them from my friends list. Like, but don't take it too personally. It's just like when I have my down phase, I try to isolate myself a little bit so I can structure myself a little bit more, because I got let down a lot and I wanted to start like a lot of projects before with others. They always like tended to just let me down, but I was there, and energetically I was ready to pursue this, but they weren't, like, so I had to like do everything on my own, which also gave me a new perspective on life, which is also very cool. But at the same time, like, I don't like being alone because I'm not meant to be alone. I feel like even physically I'm not meant to be alone, because I just don't really work without like someone else. If I have someone by me that also understands me for the way I am without forcing me their own way onto me, then it's good, like when they understand me, where I'm coming from and all of that. So I don't really want to have a fursuit. As weird as it sounds, I just want to become this being. Okay, like I don't really want to spend so much money on something, and it's just like a carpet I'm just wearing all day long, pretty much, because it gets all sweaty, and then you have to take care of it, then you have to clean it, and you, on top of cleaning your fursuit, you have to clean your room, you have to do this and that. If you're extremely disciplined and it's something that you want to do, then that is amazing. But I can't even literally make my bed, okay? Okay, I can make my bed, but that already drains like a bunch of my energy already. So yeah, I always felt like that people were also taking bits and pieces of my soul and myself for themselves, so they can feel better about themselves. And I was never upset about them, because if I was the healing fragment for them that would make them feel better, then I've already done good. I want to be a good being. So like, yeah. I also tend to like just suppress the emotions a lot, because I don't want to just be, oh, you should be so happy right now, you have all of this. You get me wrong, it's like really nice. It just it gets very deep sometimes. and I do miss a lot of my friends, but yeah. I've had like a big down phase in my life, where I thought like moving on wouldn't be good anymore. But I feel like everyone has those down moments. But I had a down moment that was like really heavy, to a point where I I would have just straight up given up. I don't know. I'm stupid. I I had like nothing for a while. The only thing I had was my PC and the VR. That's all I had. Like I was just very minimalistic with the way I was living and coping with my depression. And this has helped me a lot. It's not just like the VR, it's just like the version of myself that I get to see every single day when I put my VR on. That is like my me, like truly me and not just some fake outside me. And implementing this me in my real world was always like not really acceptable. So I just accepted that, and I just kept this like in VR. So because in VR I just felt way more comfortable with lots of like cute beans that I can cuddle with or make love with and get to know better. But every single time when it came to a point like they wanted to meet up in real life, I always said like I don't really wanna meet up because like that kind of like destroys like the the whole thing that we have here. But they sometimes insisted and still sent me pictures of themselves, and at that point in time they messed up because I didn't want to see it. I didn't ask them to show me that, and they still shoved it right into my face like this is like what you have to deal with. I'm like, no, I don't want to deal with that. Like it didn't even matter for me if they were looking extremely cute in real life or anything. And don't get me wrong, I had some really cute beans that were like sending me selfies and stuff, and they were really pretty like in human terms and stuff. But I was never into that, which might weird some of you beans out, which is totally fine. But I'm also not into like animals or anything, if you think that. I'm not. I'm more an anthropomorphic animal. So what that means is like it's like I'm half human, half furry, which means I can still use my brain to make awesome changes, to be a bit rebellious with how I am. And it just makes me deeply unsatisfied if I'm not cannot be my otter. Like I've had this since my childhood. It's not something that you can just take away and then he's gonna be fine without it. No, it's not, because it would literally just destroy me from the inside out. That's it. It's not like I need like an external thing like the VR headset to be happy. Don't get me wrong. It's just like this is like my habitat in a way. So like this is like where I can thrive and be myself more. But even this little bubble that I was living in here, I noticed that you also have to take breaks, and that is also very important. And sometimes then you have to like go outside and do activities that we ever didn't want to do, but it kind of makes sense because like your human body has certain needs that you are when you get born into this world. Funnily enough, I was actually before I got born, like my mother told me that I didn't even want to come into this world, which makes total sense because I didn't. Like I don't know why I got here in the first place. I feel like a lost soul in a sense that was just traveling for a long time until I found my otter self, like this otter that I found online first time. So and don't worry about my other hand, and my controller is just currently not tracking for some reason, so that's why it doesn't work. So but yeah, fast forward, there was always something missing in my life, and I didn't know what it was. The kind of fulfillment was the thing that was missing for me, And the thing that brings me joy and fulfillment is the author. It's nothing else that gives me more joy and fulfillment than being my outer self. But it's very hard to take a hard to swallow a hard to swallow pill when I'm talking to you like this, because from someone's point of view or perspective, they might think, and I totally understand them, that I should just take a long-term therapy or like all of that, and I totally understand that. But the point is that I did try therapy, and they even told me that they cannot change that. They cannot change that I want to be my author, and they cannot change because it's something that I uniquely am me, and that is me. And I don't want to be a dragon or like a wicker beast or whatever. There's so many like different avatars that are so much better, what they call better. But I still love this author because it's like part of me, of like who I am. Like you don't have to like the creator of this or anything. It's just like that it's just like I found myself in this persona, and I love it. I love this because I'm small, I'm tiny, I'm cute. I don't have to like step on people and I just have like a broader view on everything. And I'm not scared. I'm not scared to take new steps. And this is like also a step for me to just put this online to YouTube, and it's also very stressful to just like put this on YouTube and then not knowing what people will think about what I think about. You know, that is also providing a bunch of stress because I'm releasing this to hundreds of people, or maybe no one, or maybe who knows, because the YouTube algorithm is just suddenly gonna start doing something funky, and then I'm gonna just be shook that it reaches more people than I anticipated. So yeah, It's really nice also that they brought in an age verification into this game, because I feel like this was very much needed into like VRChat, but people making such a big fuss about it, like as if it's something bad, or the government is trying to control you or something like that. I think that is like a complete misunderstanding. I mean, it could be true. For the tinfoil people, it could be true. But I don't believe that. I feel like it's just for the security of the children. Because if you don't think of the children, then things are just gonna get violent on one side or the other. And like, you don't want to be in that mess, you know? Like, and just from an outsider perspective, I've seen like people just been dealing with shit just because they hang out with minors and stuff. So like it's just not great to deal with, you know, because people get very hostile about that, like very, very hostile. And the hostility is what like scares me as well, especially with how people think they are. Like, people always try to push like their own agendas onto you, and then you just have to accept it like that. Like they're like very hostile. I'm not like defending like people who are taking advantage of children, obviously, but like there's also a bunch of people that were misguided their entire fucking life, and like they never really received the proper support they needed. So also taking that into consideration, they could have just been put into like therapy, or like do some like exercising or something like that, or you know, sometimes they just don't think about it. Some people are just assholes, which is true, and they definitely deserve what they get, you know. But I'm not the one judging, you know. Like, no one should be judging someone just from appearances and from things that have not been like fact checked. With fact checked, like, is this actually true? I'm just gonna avoid this person because um, I'm just gonna avoid this person because reason A, 2, and B, even though like reason A might already be wrong and B is also wrong, like people are very easily to manipulate in a way or gaslight. So they don't know actually what's going on behind the scenes. They just assume they know everything, but they don't. So like, yeah, it's just a bit stupid. And when you always like an outsider or like a misfit in a sense, like me, or like an edge runner almost, then you just get dragged into this bullshit because you're just this weird edge runner guy that never really wants to jump the leap. And that is just like I, I I'm just here. Like I just exist, I just be. And that for some people is hostile towards them, because in this day and age, it's kind of it to me. It just feels like a hustler society where people glorify like a 9 to 5. It's so stupid. I don't know. Having balance is good. I'm not saying that balance is bad. It's just like glorifying 9 to 5 hustler mindset, the stupid stuff. Like I don't buy into that. I don't care about it. I don't care if someone offered me $1 million right now. I just want to be my author. I don't want to have $1 million. I want to be my author and be surrounded by friends that deeply love me, and not have material things that just drain my energy, which VR doesn't. Okay, you have to understand it. For some people, it drains their energy, but for me, it does not. It does the exact opposite, because my entire life I've been just watching LED screens. Even from childhood on, I've been like watching a lot of like LED screens, and I guess a lot of beings might even relate to this. They either grew up with a Nintendo, or like with a Game Boy, or with a PS2, with an Xbox, with anything. I also, the stupid fight between PlayStation and Xbox was so stupid. Like, it was just something so they had something to talk about, I don't know, like the stupid PS and Xbox thing. I never really bought into it. I played both. So, Wii was very nice as well. The Wii U wasn't that good, I must say, but Nintendo Switch was nice. Yeah, but even for some people, the Wii U might have been like good, but I know like that the majority did not like the Wii U when it came out. It had a lot of problems, but yeah, it just amazes me. I also grew up with a GameCube as well, so I played like a bunch of games. And usually I was like kind of isolated and not really with my friends. And when I was with my friends, I was just playing games. There was no naughty stuff or anything happening. I was way too innocent at that point in time, like way too innocent. I was just playing video games most of the time. So I didn't even care about any of that stuff. Yeah, but as I grew older and I hit like puberty, I just wanted to try things out, and I found some really amazing people that I would have sticked with, but to them they never really understood me. Even though they wanted to understand me, they never really understood me. Like when I tell them that I really want to be this being, and they were like, you're just being silly, you're just trying to evade things with this, like, but I don't evade anything. I just really honestly, from the bottom of my heart, want to be this being, because like it just makes me feel like me. And I just feel more happy like that, and I don't want to hurt anyone or make anyone upset by the choices that I made. So what the response from me was like I would have just isolate myself and just disconnect for a while, which some people would consider like ghosting, but I wasn't ghosting anyone. I was working on myself. Like I knew that I couldn't stay like sad all of the time, so I wanted to be a better version of myself, and then I started to just like bring in some discipline into my life, which was a great choice, because discipline is, I think, a bit helpful as well. It's kind of, it drains a lot of your energy if it doesn't feel like a synchronicity thing, if it doesn't synchronize with you and your spirit, and you still do it. That's the point when it just drains you and you don't feel good about it. But when you do it on a day like where you have motivation, then it feels like good to do it, you know. So I went out cycling and swimming and all of that. So yeah. And most importantly, I was shaping the reality I was living in. And I feel like I'm still shaping the reality I'm living in. And also for the friends around me as well, as long as I stay positive and I'm more grounded. And yeah. I did go very deep into my spirit, but I also want to keep up like a more like a friendly image as well to my naughty appearance here in VR chat. I don't really like too many people when I do stuff in VR chat. I was just literally with one-on-ones. It's never like more maybe. There were certain scenarios where it wasn't a one-on-one, but that doesn't really matter. Yeah. I just wanted to let go of all of this luggage that I was carrying, and I thought if I just dumped it out here, you would understand me a bit more. I was dealing a lot, like I went through every stage of grief that possible and pain and that you can imagine in this life, and Corona hit and all of that, and Corona did hit me like dirty, like it actually did hit me dirty. But it's getting better now, and it's okay. I just started to accept like who I am and what I want to be, and that I can achieve being it as long as I keep pursuing my goals and my true self, which is talking to you right now. So this is my real me, unfiltered. This is like my real me, unfiltered. Right, so I like being cute and positive, and yeah, I just wanna be like a light in a world that desperately needs all little lights. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I need to stop suppressing my emotions so much, but I don't want to cry in front of camera. I always feel so embarrassed. So, oh my goodness. But thank you for watching. Hopefully I didn't say anything too controversial in this video. I just like I'm silly. I have sometimes no thoughts, empty head, and when I rewatch it, I'm like, oh, I don't wanna keep it in on YouTube, and then I remove it, and then I hate it. But yeah, so I like being a cute bean on the internet and doing cuddles, watching things with friends. Yeah, like I said, do ERP. but I never lost my way because I just transformed. I just transformed into something that I think gives me a better purpose in life and um, like higher values. Not like I want to step on anyone. I just want to see what is actually good and not surround myself with something that may be silly, but it's more like trash. Like when you surround yourself with trash and trash content, then you will just see more of that because you think it's so funny, and then you just keep spiraling like this, and then you completely forget to you consume more than you create. So instead of like consuming all of the time, you can just create something. And that's my mindset, because I always feel like I want to create something that is better than what I'm seeing, because I see so many things. I see like little things, little artistic details on art or anything, and I'm like saying like, hey, this could be better and all of that. And if I would like receive backlash for this kind of like criticism, that would be bad on their side, because they're not taking into consideration that things could always be better. And that is something what I strive for, that things can always be better. The next day can always be better than the last 5 weeks. Like you never know. Also, a lot of people think like you have like the illusion of control and you have the death grip on your life. The moment you think you have control in life, that's the moment you lose at that game, because you don't have any control about what happens in your life. From one day to the other, everything could just go completely north or south. You don't know. Like, you don't know. Okay? And especially with beings that live in a fast lane, it more applies to them. Like they never know where they're landing. But yeah, it just starts with simple habit changes. What helped me most, honestly speaking, is not drinking, not taking drugs, and that's what has helped me. And just going, I don't want to isolate you. I just like going into yourself for a while. Maybe take me with you on this journey and just like try to isolate yourself and the voices around everyone, and focus on what you want, because you matter too. You are unique with who you are. So you matter. You matter more than you think you do. And it hurts me to see that some of my friends were only pretty much living day by day. They were just living day by day, and that always made me so sad, because they can do so much with themselves and with the life that they've been gifted to. And they don't know what they're missing out, because they're so stuck in their own little world where they think everything is fine, but they themselves even agreed to me that they want better things, and then they still keep being so small. It made me so upset a lot of times. Because I don't want anyone to be stuck. I want them to be free and do whatever they want to do. Like, be grateful for what you have right now, and try to just release all of that stress right now. I'm not going to end this video right now. I want you to release all of that stress that you have built up, and I want you to release that right now. You might feel a little pressure at the top of your head, but I just want you to release that pressure. Also, really quickly, I do ERP and stuff. It doesn't really matter too much, but I also love cuddling and snuggles. It's just who I am. So yeah. So I want you to release that tension that you have in your forehead and just listen to my voice. Listen. You don't always have to do 200% of yourself, or be perfect in every single way, shape, or form. It's good to be the best version of yourself, but you don't always have to be the best version of yourself. You can also say like one day, hey, I wanna be a party bean. I wanna go partying. I wanna have fun. I wanna experience something crazy new. Like I wanna do this. And I don't wanna hurt anyone. I'm not going with an intent to a party to hurt someone. Like that is not how it works. Like I just wanna be a party bean. And then I'm just gonna do it. You don't think about it, you just do it. And the moment that you're grateful for it, so many awesome things can happen if you let it happen. You don't force it, you just let it happen. But that's difficult for some of you beings to understand right now, because you don't have that clarity that I have right now. Because I've been clear for like 5 years now, 4 to 5 years. Some of my friends said like 3.5 or like 4, like in that sense. But that's like already a long time. Long enough to clear all of that fog out of my head and to have a more structured and stable life. I'm still not perfect. I'm far from perfect, okay? Like I have so many fucking things wrong with me that's still like another thing. Or like maybe that's what people told me before, and I kind of just imagine stupid things. Like just ignore what I said, okay? Like, because you are also like an incredible manifester, which I say it all of the time, and you can see it visually with me that I'm still struggling a little bit with like letting go of certain negative emotions. I'm still struggling with that, but it's getting better. So I might be a construction site, but I don't know who's watching this video right now. They might be even in an even worse position. That's what you have to picture. That I'm talking to someone that is in an even worse condition than I am, and I'm trying to help them get back up, even when you're crystal clear and you're doing good and you're being arrogant and kind of a selfish asshole. Then I see you. And I want you to be better, to connect with the people again, to make friends and not be so isolated, and think like money is everything when it's not. So yeah, that's for those people. Because deep down I'm right. I'm damn right. Yeah, I don't want to be sorry for how I lived when I lived my life. I want to be grateful for every single day that I got gifted in this life. And I don't know what happens tomorrow. You never know. Like there's a saying that I was seeing like from Master Oogway from Kung Fu Panda. He was saying like, yesterday is history and tomorrow is a mystery. Yeah, so and what matters is like that you are currently here in this moment. And this moment is all that matters at the moment. And even that might not even matter right now. And it doesn't matter whatever you do, you will always feel be loved way more than you think you are. Like you will be loved way more than you think you are, but you have to get yourself out of your mindset and out of your prison cell in your head that you set up for yourself. If you have that, not everyone has that. Some of your beings that are watching might be very free in their head, like birds flying around. This message is not for you. This is like for people that are caged in their head and I think they have no way out. And I'm telling you, I'm giving you the keys right now. So take them. But this will only work for people with pure intent and not with malicious intent. Those people can fuck right off, I'm telling you. I don't care, I'm saying this unfiltered. They will not get the keys. Only the people that are aligned to watch this video. Because nothing in this universe happens without a reason. Absolutely nothing. sometimes it can be so hard to handle the reality that you live in. It's like, oh no, you don't know. Like, this is my reality, and I know for a fact, yeah, it might be your reality, but you are responsible for it, and you can break out of that because you have built all of these walls that were maybe scary for you. But there's always a way you can break out of your cell. There is a way, even when you think you're not strong enough to do it. It's also important to have just faith. And what helped me the most was having faith in Jesus, because like he understands me for who I am, and like he doesn't judge me or hurt me for who I am. He loves me for who I am, and I'm still trying to just spread positivity out of my heart. I just do it, and I hope I am delivering. Yeah. The most important thing is be free. Don't put yourself like in a prison cell and throw away like thing. Except if you're in a spot where you're extremely happy about it and you just want your life to be a one-way ticket in a way, like if you want to be stuck like this because you're with people that love you the same way, I don't know, I just don't want you to be like in a toxic situation. I don't want you to be with people that gaslight you or just try to drain your energy. I want you to be with people that are happy-minded and more positive thinking, future thinking. Like, in a way, we all manifested this together. Like we manifested, like you beans, you don't know how crazy all of this is. We have a VR headset. We have this. We have Steam base stations. We have all of this like amazing stuff that we basically got gifted. Okay, so like, oh wait, let me sit down. So we got all of this stuff gifted, and oh wait, maybe I have a. Oh my goodness. So we got all of this stuff gifted, and that's my harness. Just floating up there. Oh my goodness. But yet we don't really fully appreciate the things that we got gifted. So yeah. This video is like not meant like for the masses or for like tons of people, but I just hope that it's reaching like someone that needs to hear this, even if it's just one or two people. Yeah. If you also feel stuck and you feel like you cannot get out at all, and you feel like I'm really down bad, like I don't even know what I want. Like I'm just listening to this guy, but I'm completely stoned and like I don't even know what the fuck is he saying. Then like listen to me, get outside, get like a grabber, like a trash grabber, and like try to like grab the trash for your local community. Just do it like a couple of times and see what it does to you. Like just do that. Literally do that. Because I've been there. I'm not proud of it. But yeah, and I mean I'm happy. I'm not proud of like consuming so much. That's what I wanted to say. But I was happy when I did do like the grabber thing, because it gave me like a sense of purpose. It gave me purpose in a world where things are so fast. I'm not saying bad, it's just fast. And I yeah. I like being like just more calm and eager to help, because I feel like I'm a medic. I'm like a spiritual medic or a spiritual emotional guide for some people. I say the things where most like people would not go on saying, because that might be too risky, but I step over that and I still try to be extremely careful, but you have to have like a tuning for that. And I'm gonna be honest to you, not everyone has this ability to have this fine-tuned way of putting words into sentences. Like, they don't. And if you don't have that sort of ability, then don't do it, okay? Like, I feel like I got this ability for a reason, because that also fills me with purpose. And I've realized that I've helped others all of the time, but I just didn't help myself. I just did not help myself the same way I helped others. I was being so generous with my energy and all of this, and I completely forgot about myself. And I don't want that to happen to you. So don't forget about yourself. Make yourself like a little bit brighter. Like, get yourself like a cookie, like a tiny cookie, or whatever you wanna have at that time. Maybe a pizza, or like something sweet, or maybe a more healthy variant would be to maybe get some water, because we tend to crave like food when in reality we are just thirsty, and you have to try that first, but sometimes that doesn't work either. So at least for me, sometimes when I drink, I still am hungry. But it really depends. I'd still try it out, and then it does work though. Water is everywhere. It's like 80% of this planet, okay? We're surrounded by water, and we're just tiny little on this floating islands on this globe. On this adorable globe. Yeah. So yes. Like I mentioned, I'm literally not perfect in any way, shape, or form. I do have things that, like, I wish I would have worked on, but I didn't yet. But I have to just convince myself of doing it without thinking about it. And I'm in that stage where it's happening. Like, it is about to happen. Like, and I already feel that energy shift within me, because I've already started music production. I did graphic design, sound engineering. I did go to school for IT and engineering. I did do all of those things, but none of those things matter that I did if I'm not happy and fulfilled. Do they matter then? If I did all of those academic certificates and all of that, if I myself am not fulfilled and unhappy, I don't think they do matter. Like, what matters is that you are genuinely happy about the choices that you make. And if you want to learn something, I feel like that is good, because then you're listening to someone telling like something interesting maybe, or that might caught you off guard, and you might like branch off and make your own ideas to it. Like, you might literally like branch off and have new ideas and literally start your own thing. Like, start your own little idea and branch it into something amazing. You know, it always starts with a little idea, and then you bring that idea to life. And once it's like life and giving birth, and it's watered, I still need to water my plant. Like, it's a so it's a nice plant, so I need to water it today. I almost forgot about that. Good, I'm talking about this. Yeah, but life is literally like a seed. Okay, you have a little seed, and your mind is also like a seed. You have a little seed, you put that seed into the soil, and then you put a water can on top of it. And then it will slowly start to like sprout. It doesn't happen immediately. Results doesn't happen immediately. People might still say like, oh, this whole woke society, blah, blah, blah. Don't listen to them. Don't listen to those people, because what I'm saying matters more than those people right now. Because whatever you believe in, you will literally water as long as you keep at it, okay? Don't let people distract you from that mission of watering this stupid plant. Look at that stupid plant like Flowey from Undertale and saying, I am gonna keep watering you until you blossom and bloom into like multiple flowers. You know? Maybe a stupid analogy, but yeah. I always played the pacifist in Undertale. I never even played the genocide. I never played the genocide route once. I played the pacifist route 5 times. I could never bring it to like kill Toriel. I could not. Could not do it. I couldn't. So, oh my goodness. So, oh my goodness. Why am I feeling emotional about a video game right now? So basically, oh my goodness. Believe in miracles, that they can happen. Okay, because miracles can happen. And wonders can also happen. Imagine like a graph like this, like a square. And you have here work, like 1/4 of it is filling out work. The other quarter is filling out like abilities, skills. Then you have this other piece, like 1/4 is filling out relationships, and then there's one part, for me at least, that is miracles. 1/4 of my life is miracles. Okay, miracles and wonders. That is 1/4 of my life. And that is a lot. That's not just like 1/8 or 1/16. It's actually 1/4 now. And that's because I opened up to it. Because what you have here probably is your logical mind, the mind that makes sense. But when you let go of the mind that makes sense, the logical mind, then you start seeing life from a different perspective. Don't get me wrong, we still have like grounded physics, we have this, and this, but at the very core of it, it does not matter. It does not matter what it is. Like, you can get really deep into something, and if you enjoy it, go for it. You know, like if you enjoy it, if it fills you with purpose, if it fills you with determination and awesomeness, then go for it and have fun. But you should not like determine like for everyone this is like how to live, you know. And I'm also not telling you how to live. It's just like letting room for wonders and miracles is such a big game changer, because for me it opened my eyes to new possibilities. But in order to get those miracles and all of that to happen, you have to abstain something that you were doing constantly. If it was vaping, if it was doing drugs, if it was doing too much alcohol, try to drink less, try to find your like inner center self, because what I did was a lot of self-reflection and inner work, and I'm still doing this right now. I should not be currently, maybe I should be here. I'm not saying maybe, I'm saying this is alignment. I should be here. I'm not doubting this. This is how it should be. Okay? Like this, what we're having here right now, is how it should be. Your mind sometimes likes to play tricks on you just to test you. Because every single day is a test, in a way. Like, it's not a test, but it's... Sometimes it tests you for whatever reason, you know? Or maybe it doesn't test you because you're living differently. Because everyone has a unique experience, you know? And for me, my life has been, like, about tests a lot. But even that has become, like, less of a test. Like, it seems like I've like... wandered through the finish line, and like it's kind of like I'm done being tested about things, and I'm just getting like rewarded for being. Then that's the kind of system I live in, and that is crazy to think about, because the moment you're just your true authentic self is the moment you start materializing the things that you were always craving or that you always wanted. But you should never forget that your way is not the best way. So there is a higher way than your own way. So don't think that your own way is the only way. Because it's not. Everyone has unique ideas, unique skills that match their skill sets. And sometimes you might align with people that have the same thought patterns as you and the same intellect as you. Okay? But that doesn't mean that everyone is like that, you know? But your mind will trick you into like thinking everyone is like this. But they're not. There's like, and so many people, so many different cultures, generations of people that all live differently than you. So keep that in mind. There's always something new and miraculous on the way. But if you're a very logical and technical person, you like to stick to your comfort zone, which is like 1 + 1 = 2, you know? Like, that is your structure. Or like 10 × 10 is 100, you know? Or like square root of 49 is 7, you know? I don't know if it's called like this in English, but it's you get what I'm saying. Like sinus, cosinus, like all of this with the waves and stuff. I had this in school. I did actually end up... that's also a good way of how manifestation works. Oh my goodness, talking about school. Okay, this video is gonna get longer than before. When I went to elementary school, I always had really shitty grades, okay, because I would learn for some subjects, but not for every subject. I would not learn for every subject. But my worries were like, oh, I need to do this, you know? And whenever I forced myself through this and I felt like burning all of the time, I didn't really want to say it this way, but I felt like I was burning. My body was burning from this. It was so much to learn. And when I let go of this worrying and like having so much to learn, and I went to a new school... Okay, how should I put this into words? So I was really bad in school when it came to grades and stuff until the 10th grade. Then I went to a new school and a new system, new people, new friends, a complete switch up of my entire life, okay? Like a complete switch. Like something just, the things that I craved, all those like 10 years of me in school, suddenly were like at the grasp of my hand, by just being. By just being my authentic self at that point in time. At least from what I thought I was, the authentic self, that authentic self. Then I started meeting new people in that school. And also like I made new connections and all of that. And I was so much better off. My grades were not a lot better, but they were like better than in 10th grade and 9th grade. Like my grades actually rocketed, okay? Like I got way better grades at math than you can think I got before. And I learned less. Like you have to get that into your brain right now. Like after 10th grade was over, I thought like the next school is gonna maybe be like a bit better. You know, I already thought in my head that there can be nothing worse than this school. And so it was. So the next school I visited, I had much better grades than in the school system I grew up earlier. I don't think that's a coincidence. I don't think that is a coincidence. I feel like that is alignment. That is alignment right there, because I met like a lot of people that were nice, but also like people that I would have rather not getting to know, because I also started to drink at that point in time. But funnily enough, even though I was drinking and all of that, I actually kind of nailed a lot of the exams, which is kind of funny. Like it was kind of unexplainable to me with how well I was doing in that school compared to the other school, and I was learning way less. People forced me way less to learn. I didn't go to the daycare shelter anymore, like to the daycare anymore, where my mother put me. Like, and things were just way better because I wasn't stressed out all of the time, and I was just being me more. I was just like being more authentic. So now I just like keep working on myself, not working, but training rather, to like be a more stable me. What is a more stable me is like what is like the kind of legacy I want to leave behind, because when you leave behind, you have like a limited amount of time on this earth, right? At least that's what we believe. And when you believe this, then you kind of do want to have a legacy that you want to leave behind. And it's kind of crazy when I talk about stuff like this, because I've like seen people that are 40 years old that look like 18, literally. I've seen literally people that they tell me they're 40 years old but they look like 18. Like how do you like, and that's why life is so wondrous and magical. But you have to open yourself up to it, because I already did. I did my work to open myself up about it, and if more people do it, then more miracles and more good things will flow into all of our lives, and not just one person, but into all of our lives. You know, it's okay to be wrong, okay? I'm not always right. In this video, I've probably said things that were wrong, but it's just how you perceive it, you know, and how it's gonna go. Like, it's just how you perceive it. If you perceive it friendly, then that's how it should. I hope you perceived it friendly, this video, and that it means no ill wishes or no harm for anyone. And I hope that your road, wherever it will lead towards a better future than what you think of yourself. And I want to be a little beacon of light, a little beacon of light for beings that have lost their way. Okay? I don't want you to idolize me, because I hate idolization. I don't want idolize nothing. Not really hate, but like, you know, idolizing people leads to things that it's not good. So no idolizing, it's bad. Find yourself. If someone does something better than you, don't look at them and be like jealous. Don't. Okay? Don't be jealous, even though we tend to naturally to be jealous. Don't give in to that jealousy. Do your own work. Even when it's shit and people will laugh at it, just do it. Do it, because you're gonna be much happier than they will ever be, because you decided to do that inner work to be better, to be better, not like to be above them, but to prove your own point. And that is the sweetest victory, when you prove your own point, because you don't have to prove anything to anyone other than yourself. You didn't even have to prove anything to yourself. Like, this is how magical this life is. Like, the moment you open yourself up to things that are out of the ordinary and that are not from this world, kind of to say, and then you will experience life at a much higher frequency than you were living before and prior to that. Do you understand what I'm saying? I hope you do, because I know for a fact that I'm not crazy. I know that I'm not crazy because I know what I'm talking about. Because I know that my life has gone like rocketeering as soon as I started just being more confident in myself. Yeah, I may be an otter, I may be small, I may be like this, blah blah blah. It doesn't matter. I'm still confident in myself and my own abilities. And I don't need like verification from others to say if my stuff is good or not. Even though I tend to show like my friends like some of my work just to make sure that like things are like good, Like you have like an inner circle where you share like your stuff to your friends and stuff. And when a lot of people say it's good, then you're just gonna think it's gonna be good because you showed it around a lot of people, and getting feedback is also really nice as well, so you can even improve together. Like, how cool is that? Like, you just show something that you worked on to someone, and they give you some advice on how things could be better. Then you can take it or leave it. You don't have to take the advice. You can just do your own thing. You don't even have to talk to anyone. You can just like do your own thing and not show it to anyone, and then still get massively awesome results, or bad results as well. Like, it, just try it. Don't just keep waiting all day, because time is limited for some. So like, yeah, and always know that you're not your body or your brain. You're more than your body and your brain. Like, you're way more than this here. But you need to wake up. You need to wake up to this. You need to wake up to this realization. Even if you're a streamer watching this right now, you need to wake up, because yes, an author is telling you to wake up, because people in your circle, in your community, they just try to paint you like as a leader, in a sense. You don't want to be a leader, and a lot of the times you really don't want to be a leader. Maybe you were born to be a leader, but then you have to, like, I'm saying leader, but I'm actually meaning influencer. So when you influence people, you have to be very careful about what you're talking about and what you're influencing at the part. Like, you have to be extremely careful, because people can very easily drift off a complete different direction than you think you put your people through, So make sure when you're an influencer that you are grounded and that you spread positivity and light, because that's what we need the most. Positivity and light, even when we're human and we do have like intrusive thoughts, tribalistic thoughts. We do have them. We acknowledge them. But life is not about the being the strongest, because it's also like your brain, and your brain is stronger than any like tribalistic kind of approach. With tribalistic, I mean like alpha principle that you know from nature. You know, like a wolf and a rabbit, and the wolf is gonna eat the rabbit, and all of that. You know, like that sort of perception. And we are not that. You know, we're higher beings. Okay, like we are higher beings. We have a brain that we got gifted, so we may use it. We have a voice that we may have to speak to people, so we may use it. We have ears to hear, so we may use them to hear. We have an internal compass that not everyone has, honestly, but we can use it, the compass. Even if you don't have that compass, there's a lot of things that you can do to do, like to get the compass. There's so many things you can do. You can go outside hiking. You can go outside just doing anything positive. Yeah, but if you feel like a high pressure or like a weird gut feeling about that, even going hiking and stuff, then probably don't do it for a while until your gut feeling changes into something positive. First, seek shelter inside. You know, I feel like inside you're always safe. Like let's be real here, and that's probably been for generations, for eons, that we always try to make ourselves as comfortable as we can possibly have it. It's just a fact, okay? Like we want to have things comfortable. Once we get into the comfortableness too hard, so we tend to just go in and fall into it a lot. So having that shelter is very important, so then you can prepare mentally and physically to do it. If you're not prepared mentally and physically, I would not recommend you to like go hiking and just do those things. Wait until you like get a little bit more confident yourself. Go outside, definitely. I'm not telling you to not go outside, but yeah, you don't have to like overdo it. Like you don't have to do like 10 steps ahead when you cannot even do step one, you know. For me, step one was actually going to swim, like swimming. That was my step one that helped me the most. Oh, not really. I'm lying. I'm actually lying. My step one was going for like realizing that I was wrong. That was my step wrong. Oh my goodness. I was saying wrong at this time. I think that was also not my first step. I started realizing that I was stuck. That's right. I started realizing that I was stuck. And when I started to realize that, I started to think, what is making me stuck? And then I had a bunch of substances that I had, and I stopped using them. I even like flushed them down the toilet and all of that. And I started to realize that I'm creating my own reality. I'm like a potent manifester. You know, like a potent, smart manifester. I can manifest anything into this life. And the great part about it is that you can manifest things even without you doing anything. Anything. Absolutely anything. But a lot of people will shake their heads here like, oh my god, that is so selfish, blah, blah, blah. I don't care about what you think about that, you know, like, because I made up my mind about this, you know. Being selfless is generous, and I've been very selfless and been there for people for a really long time. And then when I isolated myself, I started to see like how much I actually got drained from just constantly being around people. Like constantly being around people and just being confused, getting twisted into things that were never meant to actually happen, or like being invited to countless birthday parties because one day one guy has a birthday party, then you go there, and the next guy has a birthday party, then you don't want to be rude, then you go there, and then you end up in your own cycles. And I got myself out of that. If you believe it or not, I got myself out of that. How? Well, faith. That faith. I'm just gonna say it how it is. Faith has helped me the most out of any technique that I did. Faith, just having faith. Just having faith in yourself, having faith in a higher being than yourself is even more important. Yeah. This video has been going on for a really long time right now, hasn't it? So I'm gonna be ending this session here right now. I really hope this just reaches like a bunch of people, or like one person, two people, maybe 5 people even. I don't care how many it will reach. I don't want attention. Don't get me wrong. I'm actually happy with even when this video just gets 100 views or 50 views. I don't care. I don't care. As long as I have 1 or 2 people, that is a sign for me that it has aligned to those people specifically. That's more than enough for me. I mean it, and I mean it. I don't need more. So yeah. I said a lot of things. I was jumping from one topic to the other. It's just what I do. Some people may be struggling to catch up with some of the stuff that I say, which is also fine. There's a lot of input that you got today. There's also a lot on my mind, as you can see. There's a lot of shit on my mind, and what people put me through and all of that. So people are not always nice. Don't get it twisted. Some people have ill intentions and they don't wish you well. But there's also a majority of people that are good-hearted people as well, that don't want to hurt you and drain you. Okay, at least like in my perception, at least I'm very trusting. Okay, so it's very easy for me for people to take advantage of me, and for people to put triggers into my life that know exactly what I want. So yeah, but it's also like kind of, awkward. But yeah, you get what I'm saying, I think. What I'm telling you is like, if you have something that you've been craving a lot, don't think about it. The art of manifestation is kind of like you let go of it, and then it will bounce to you, because it will think you stop believing in it, and the moment you stop believing in it, it will pop right into your face. Like it will literally bounce into your face like a boomerang if you just let go from it for a while. That is the craziest form of manifestation. But a lot of people cannot do it because you don't just consciously do it, you go subconsciously into it. And you really start believing it as well. And then you take the action towards a different goal. And once you're focusing on that goal, then everything that you dreamed of or that you want will fall into alignment with your goal. Okay? So you set yourself a goal. For example, you go cycling, you do this and that, like simple steps. And then maybe at some point you're like, I want to do whatever I want to do, and I want to pursue it. Then you pursue that, and then you do that goal. And then all of a sudden, these wishes that you had and those dreams will just flow into your life. And you will just be fulfilled. And you will have a life of fulfillment and happiness. Like it will just happen. And there's nothing you can do about it. because you just focused your mind on that goal, and suddenly that peak that was so far away, or that wall that was so high up, was never so high up, and that peak was also not so far away. You were staring right at it, right in front of you the whole time, but you were just too blind to see it. And then you wake up to it, and then you're awakening. And that's the moment things just effortlessly, without you doing anything, will just flow into your life. And when something bad will happen to you again, then it won't be as impactful as this level of fulfillment that you will have. And that is different. That also hits different, because it makes you just feel happier. It makes you feel more aligned. It makes you be more positive. And yeah, but never ever do the mistake and lie to yourself. So if you have a path, you go all in or nothing. Okay, like you go, queen, you go. So you go all in, and then you don't back out. You go all in, and you pursue that goal, especially when it's a good goal, a good and healthy goal. If it's not such a good goal and you're like icky about it, then you can maybe like go back and then try to like reflect, take some time for yourself, be calm, get a tea or like some water, and then try a new goal that you want to pursue that fits you more. But at some point you will find that thing that will give you fulfillment, no matter what, as long as you pursue your goals, your dreams, your goals. You don't even have to pursue your dreams. You can just pursue the goal, and the dreams will fall right into your hands. That's exactly what will happen. And I'm not talking from a third person perspective right now. This is like actually gonna be happening if you do that. Okay, I'm gonna end this session, this TED Talk here. Yeah. I just really hope this will reach you, like at your heart as well. It doesn't really matter if it reaches your heart. I just want you to be good and healthy. So yeah, we might not have the same interests, but know that you're also loved, and I love you too. So like, you're gonna be good. And yeah. Yeah, this is also mostly for my otter friends, because I love all of my otter friends. I love them. I love them even when they're silly or douchebags or assholes or or cuties or just being themselves or anything. Like, I love them. Yeah. So, yeah, don't let people talk over you, how you should live your life. No one, and I tell you, no one can tell you how to live your life but you. No one. Absolutely no one. There's just some rules and boundaries that you set for your life that are healthy, and you spread positivity and light towards others is also important. And yeah, then have faith that everything works out in your favor, and have faith that you pray for the right things, to come into your mind, and for healing to come into your mind. If you need healing, then pray for healing. That works. So yeah, thank you so much for watching this video. This is I'm gonna drink some water, like my throat is so sore. Thank you so much for watching this video. Stay awesome and be a cute bean, okay? Okay.